If you meet me at the corner of Russell and Albina, just about a block from Mississippi Avenue, I'll take you to a house where they hang carpets on the wall. And if we go there on a Sunday, there's a song I'll take you through.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Open Mic America. I'm Chris Steele, your MC and erstwhile performer. Mike Simpson, who also is a performer, is our interviewer today. Laura Borowitz is our engineer, and Capo Dave Williams is founder of this wonderful show and also the creator and builder of Dandy Hybrid Guitars, which you're going to hear a little bit about later. Our mission is to support your local open mics where you can go in person to see songwriters performing their original music. Tonight, thanks to technology, we get to travel all around the country and see those same performers in their own living rooms without gimmicks, frills, or any video effects that Ric Page might actually throw at this. We're going to go ahead and show you the DNA of American music, a tapestry of story and song that has been weaving us together for generations. So now let's introduce all of our performers, and you can find links to their work on our website and also on this YouTube video. So just go ahead and wave as we go through here. Corinne from Beaverton, Oregon. Hallie Hammer and Randy Burge from Berkeley, California. I'll be coming up third in Newton, Massachusetts, so happy to see you then. Dougal Bichon from Toronto, Ontario. Paul Gubbins from Evansville, Indiana. Jason Baker from Burlington, Vermont. Ric Page from Haverhill, Massachusetts, and that is how you say Haverhill, by the way. And Mark Bishop Evans from Phoenix, Arizona. So now let's go ahead and hand it over to our first performer, Corinne in Beaverton, Oregon. Corinne, go for it.
Hey there. My first number is called If You Don't Have a Story. Got this old song playing around in my head, and you know how time can move so fast. So soon one could forget the past, the lyrics, the beat, the melody. I wake up and I hope that you're not gone, so I reach for paper and pen to jot down the words to my latest song. I still have you in my memory. I have no roots to hold me down, and I don't have no time to waste. Don't keep moving, I stop improving, so I gotta keep driving just in case. I have a story, so I gotta get out of this place. I don't have no roots. If you don't have a song,
Yeah.
Awesome.
Very nice.
Awesome.
Played live in a little while, so thanks for giving me an opportunity to do so. I'm going to play one more song for you. It's, let's see, called Fair Weathered Friend. I don't think we were ever that great of friends. But it didn't go your way. You put it to an end. I was there no matter what the weather was. That's why you left, you said it's just because the sky was blue, you were there for me. When the clouds rolled in, you abandoned me. If the sun starts to hide, well then it's partly cloudy. Fair weather friend. There was a streak when my life was at a peak. What goes up must fall down to the ground. So torn up that I could barely speak. Crawled into bed with a bottle a little over a week. When the sky was blue, you were there for me. When the clouds rolled in, you abandoned me. If the sun starts to hide, well now it's partly cloudy. Fair weather friend. Some people only meant to be around for a little while. Whether it's to learn something special or just a passing smile. Hard on myself, it'll take a while to let you go. I'm sure I'll move on, but I'll take it slow. I don't think we were ever that great of friends. When the sky was blue, you were there for me. When the clouds rolled in, you abandoned me. If the sun starts to hide, well now it's partly cloudy. As your weather woman, it's partly cloudy. Thank you. My name's Corinne.
Corinne, that was fantastic. Thank you, and welcome to Open Mic America. It's good to have you here for your first time. I'm going to hand you over to Mike Simpson, who is not going to make this uncomfortable at all. Mike?
You know, he always says that, but I hope that's true. All right, Corinne, so when I saw and realized that this was your first time at Open Mic America, of course I did a little research,
And I understand that you're quite a, as they would say in medieval times, quite the peregrinator. You move around a lot. You have that vagabond songwriter title, and you have the life to back it up. So how does it change? Do you think what kind of a songwriter you are? All that moving about.
It gives me a lot of spice of life, a lot of variety, and it's very true to form. It's not some gimmick because I don't live in Beaverton anymore, where I originally stated I was from. I'm actually in Wyoming right now, so I've been doing this for a long time because I'm just one of those people that needs a lot of inspiration.
All right. The first song. It has the meta thing in it, not the company, but it's a song about songwriting. It has the reference right away off the top in it. Does that often happen for you when you're writing? Do you often write about the writing of the song in the song?
That was one of the only tunes. I think I might have one or two songs that I
Uh huh.
wrote about the process a little bit. But I haven't in recent times been writing all that much. So I'm really digging out of the vault here a little bit. And that particular song I haven't really played live too often.
Uh huh. Well, I liked it. I like the way it puts you and your process right out in front for the audience. Okay, this caused a song to be written. Yeah. All right. And the accompaniment for that, I really like the movement. You don't settle. You don't sit still anywhere on that, which I guess is kind of you. Very nice. Very nice. Fair weathered friend. What's your for that song in particular, and then please, if you wish, talk about it in general. What's your order of operations? In other words, usually most people can identify either lyric comes first, melody comes first, or they find things by noodling around on chords first. How does that work for you?
Sometimes it's all three or two at once, where I maybe a chord, something sounds good or happy to my fingers and to my ears, and I just continue to elaborate on it, or I start writing some lyrics and just kind of go with the flow on the guitar, like find some chords that fit the mood. And so that was definitely the case on that song.
But not often that it'll just be like a melody that strikes you, and then you go from there.
Sometimes when I walk, I like to walk a lot,
Right.
and something lyrically will come to me with the melody and maybe the hook as
Right.
I'm walking, and I'll be like, oh shoot, I got to get home so I can get this down.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Uh, I have had other people answer that question with a similar thing, which is one of the since you like to move around a lot, I wondered if that might not be the case. Could you talk a little bit about your musical influences?
Sure. I'm originally, I have to say where I'm originally from because that is the most important thing as far as my influences. I'm from right outside of Detroit, Michigan, and I grew up on a lot of soul music, a lot of the soft hits from the 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and today. And then I'm a 90s girl, so grew up in the 90s with a lot of like heavy grunge music, and soulful influences like Tracy Chapman and Ben Harper, Dave Matthews, Sarah McLachlan, and Joan Osborne, I would say. And I'm
Oh,
real close to
outstanding.
Canada too. Real
Love
close
me
to
some Joan
Canada, so
Osborne. Yeah.
we heard
Yeah.
all kinds of fun stuff, and I'm super
Yeah,
grateful for
because
it.
Fair Weathered Friend, I definitely heard in a couple of those vocal turns. I definitely heard some Tracy. Definitely heard some, Motown kind of stuff in there for sure. Um, you know what? I like your music. It's really great. I want to thank you for bringing it to us, and I hope that you will recognize the fact that I'm going to tell you, welcome home, and come back to
Thank
us
you.
and play again. All right?
Cool. Thanks for having me. I really
Okay.
appreciate it.
I'm going to give it back to Chris now. Thank you.
Well, not before I double down on that welcome home. Thank you. We're going to go ahead and move a little bit southwest here from here, going over to Berkeley, California, to Hallie Hammer and Randy Burge. And the two of them will tell you that they play at a variety of Berkeley open mics, including Berkeley Unitarian, Monkey House, Art House, and Freight and Salvage. So, Hallie and Randy, go ahead and take it away.
Okay, this song is actually sung by the Statue of Liberty, and it's called Lady Liberty Speaks. 1, 2, 3. I have stood here in this harbor near 140 years, torch hoisted high with an expression proud. And I've seen generations disembark upon this land in awe, as though they'd stepped on hallowed ground. Affixed upon my podium there is a poem that reads, "Give me you're tired, you're poor." But I've been feeling poorly and tired I have grown to see what now is happening on my shore. I really cannot understand the way that things have changed, how immigrants are treated in this way. I wish the masses could be huddled neath the green folds of my skirt to breathe a little easier for a day. And yes, there has been bigotry, too often there is cruelty, now rising exponentially in our land of opportunity. This explosion now of hatred, this propulsion now of scorn, makes me feel the copper crown I wear might as well be made of thorns. So I cry out for the children, scared, abused, detained, and weep to think of how we've fallen so far the wrong way. White power and no gun control, divisions, primal fears, while salt spray rising from the sea helps camouflage my tears. While salt spray rising from the sea helps camouflage my tears. Ooh.
Nice.
Now for something a little lighter. This is what happens when you had this great boyfriend when you were a teenager, and he gets in touch with you 30 some odd years later, and things have just changed just a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2,
Yeah,
4. Well, he looked like Ricky Nelson, he made love like Errol Flynn. Yeah, he looked like Ricky Nelson, he made love like Errol Flynn. We were young and in a frenzy, no accounting for the state we were in. Now Romeo and Juliet, the two had nothing on our scene. No, Romeo and and Juliet, those two had nothing on our scene. But my folks wouldn't let me see him, and I was only 17. So many years had passed since we'd gone our separate ways. Then I heard from him again. The email put me in a daze, 'cause I'm a radical politico in Berkeley, a musician. And he's a married missionary, and he's living in Tennessee. Well, it threw me, he came to me from a romance buried in the past. I traveled back in time with my emotions stepping on the gas. We're talking like teenagers, but we really ought to let it be. 'Cause he's a married missionary, and he's living in Tennessee. We're both carrying a torch that's more like the eternal flame. But I really wonder, underneath the romance, would it be the same? 'Cause I'm a party-going, meditating, Jewish, pagan, Buddhist, and he's a married missionary, and he's living in Tennessee. He's a married missionary, and he's living in Tennessee. He's a married missionary, and he's living in Tennessee.
Ali and Randy, that was fantastic. I'm going to hand you over here to Mike. Mike knows what to do.
Okay. Hi, Mike.
Hi, how are you doing, Hallie?
Okay, good to see
All
you.
right. So, Lady Liberty Speaks. What sparked the choice of point of view for that song? You could have said those things without ever bringing her into it. How did that come about?
Well, when I was in 6th grade, I was in the Bronx, and our field trip for our 6th grade field trip was to the Statue of Liberty, and I never got over it. I just felt this just attachment to the statue. At that point we were able to go up into the crown, and we could see out of the windows of the crown, and we're able to see, and it just touched me so much. And we had our whole performance was all about the Statue of Liberty, and it just, so I've always been very resonating with that. And when all this stuff was going on, there were all these cartoons and different things showing the statue going like this and all these things, and it just hit on me. I should write a song that she's singing.
This was especially when they were separating the families of immigrants and everything during that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. You know, you're on my, absolutely up in the top list of people whose lyrical writing I admire. But I must say that the lyrics in this are some of your best, I think. 'Neath the green folds of my skirts. Oh my God.
Yeah, I took what I did was I took the Emma Lazarus poem, and I used lines from it to have the statue talking about what was in the poem.
Yeah, and you did it very deftly. Very
Thank you.
deftly. Wonderful song. Ricky and Errol and Holly. Okay, we know something about your taste in gentlemen. Is this a true story? The second song?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You can't make this stuff up.
And it happened right before we hooked up.
Right.
And so-
In fact,
it was funny.
I got this call, and I was speaking to him, and he's saying, "Well, maybe we should just go meet somewhere." And I'm thinking, "Yeah, right. We'll never just meet somewhere." And my friends were going, "Are you going to go to Tennessee and become a missionary's wife?" I said, "No, he's going to have to come to Berkeley and become a hippie." So, but I said
he was the first love.
right.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
my first love, and basically when I talked to him about it, and he was talking about getting together and just seeing each other, and I said, something, you've been with your wife 31 years, and my bottom line is I don't hurt people. So we're not going there at all. So that's what happened.
But I love that party go and meditate in Jewish pagan Buddhist line. The song's worth it for that alone.
Yes, I thought for a moment it might be overkill, and I thought, no, it's Holly.
Yeah.
It's all true. The whole song is true. Like I said, you can't make it up.
Wonderful stuff. Hey, Randy, I got a question for you. What brought on that backup and lead? I love, don't get me wrong, I love hearing you get down with your bad funky self, but that was cool.
For this song.
Yeah, punchy.
Oh, well, I grew up a Chuck Berry worshiper, as many of us did too. In fact, the PBS thing, there was a PBS thing on him that I just literally watched 2 nights ago. Yeah, that song, when we recorded it, I played on electric. It's really an electric song, but it on the Dandy here, those single notes sound pretty good on this.
Oh yeah, they do.
Very happy with the way this guitar.
Right, and it's
comes
funny because
across,
people
so.
always say, "Oh, you grew up listening to Joan Baez and Pete Seeger," and I said, "Yeah, some of that, but I was mostly the Stones and the Beatles and the Animals."
Right.
And so we were both rock and rollers.
We were rock and rollers at heart. Yeah.
Well, that's true of an awful lot of folks around here. I'll cop to that myself. Anyway, thank you once again
Well, thank
for
you.
giving us access to what you do there.
Always
By the way,
pleasure.
to everybody listening out there in listening land, there will be more about that guitar that he was playing a little later in the show. And but thank you. You've been here many times. We hope you'll be here many times again. And I love
We
your
always
t-shirt.
enjoy it so much.
All right. See you guys later. Absolutely. Chris, it's on you.
Chris is on mute because Chris is about to go ahead and play some guitar here because that's what he does. But hi, yeah, I'm Chris Steele. I'm actually your host, but I'm also occasionally on Friday afternoons, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, I am on Eagle's Nest Revisited and also occasionally show up at Ward 4 over here in Auburndale, Massachusetts on Tuesday nights. But for today, no one's coming. There's a room, black as coal, cold as steel, still you lose control. Bring good men, speed the plow, got to fill those seats somehow. With a million eyes inspecting, no one that'll know when you're standing in the limelight. Is there anyone below? The starkest truth arriving, the reality of woe. No one's coming. No one's coming to the show. Bring an act with lots of flash, 'cause in this game it's all for cash. Cry a song in this gilded cage, knowing all the world's the truest stage. With a million eyes inspecting, but no one that'll know when you're standing in the limelight, is there anyone below? Stock is truth, a rival, a reality of woe. You know no one's coming, no one's coming to the show. No one's coming, no one's coming, no one's coming to the show. Thank you very much. Next one is a little song called In the End. Don't you know the day is... Sorry. Don't you know that I am sleepy, she said. The morning sun is in your eyes, light shines through and there I find surprise. Don't you know the day is wasting, he said. I know I've seen that face before, I looked at someone else, I saw it then. But in the end, we come alone and leave alone, my friend. So let's pretend what's been lost we'll find again in the end, my friend. Stick close to me, I'm drowning, she said. I know I've seen that face before, I looked at someone else, I saw it then. Can't you see it's over? Said it's just a dream fading to like a springtime winter afternoon. But in the end, we'll come alone and leave alone, my friend. So let's pretend what's been lost we'll find again in the end, my friend. Because the madness I forever distant, always lost in just this instant. Can't be lost, they've never known. Different roads were never shown on this map that charts their lives, where all too soon the end arrives. When they've passed this star-crossed love, life's too short not to forget. Can't you see I'm weeping, she said. The setting sun will leave the sky, darkness comes and then I'll fly away. Fly away, but in the end, we come alone and leave alone, my friend. So let's pretend what's been lost we'll find again in the end, my friend.
see if they'll slap me up next to you here, Chris.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Oh, there we go. So, Chris is a very fine songwriter, obviously. He always impresses me with the reach that he has in what he does. His songs, I've never heard two of his songs that sounded like they were even necessarily written by the same person. You know, I mean, he wanders all over on these kind of things. But here you matched Corinne a little bit in that you did the meta thing about being a performer rather than about being a songwriter. You know, and that situation you're talking about is pretty universal, I think, among performers. What do you think? Pretty much a universal experience?
I think pretty much universal, and I just got on a little bit of a tear with it. I mean, the riff, this is one of those songs, Mike, where the riff came first. And I was kind of playing around with it. And I've got a bunch of people in my life that are both musical theater and serious theater buffs. So that entire first verse is basically ripped out of like play titles, and I just as I got into it, I was like, okay, this is what this is about. Okay, got it.
Yeah. So musical theater is not serious theater, then, huh?
Well, I have a friend of mine that actually he was. We're going to go down on a tangent on this, but he was a real estate appraiser, and he specialized in houses for serious theater. It's an actual defined term.
All right. We'll stop there on that one.
I think so.
So what do you do when that happens? You go and there's nobody in the place. Do you treat it as a rehearsal opportunity? Do you play for the bartender? What do you do?
Honest to God, I just keep playing because inevitably somebody comes in, and then basically you start a rapport with the person that comes in, and all of a sudden it becomes a lot of fun. Even if you're just playing for the one person.
Right.
And inevitably, it ends up being more than one the person. But it's weird when somebody walks in on an empty room and you can actually engage them. Honestly, that's the best feeling.
Yeah, that's true. Very good point. In the end.
Yep.
So, I'm curious. And this song left me curious. How did it come to be written?
So this actually was two different things that happened in parallel, and then they came together as one song. On the one hand, there was that whole, I find that the E minor second, which was this chord, and I kind of held on to it, and I realized if I actually kept walking it down the fretboard, think about the open chord conversation that we had 2 weeks ago, by the way. Yeah. I actually had a whole bunch of fun things, and then I had that other riff that you hear at the ending, and then literally it was one February afternoon where we hit 70 degrees, 20 degrees Celsius just outside here, and I was like, okay, springtime, winter afternoon. I'm like, oh, okay, I got to figure out where the lyric is for that.
Right. By the way, he's from Newton, Massachusetts. 70 is a bit unusual in February. It's almost as
to you
though
California people, yes.
Yeah, it's almost as though every place is getting warmer or something.
Yeah, I can't explain that. It's not like there's a change about how the climate is changing. Yeah.
Anyway, great guitar work. I'm glad you brought that up because one of my notes I literally typed in here was great guitar work. Really, really tightly matched to the lyric and the melody, and they feed on one another in this song. And I love the "Come Alone" and "Leave Alone" line. How did that one pop up?
The story that's being told in the song is basically the end of the end of a love affair, and it's we came into this on our own, and we will leave as such. But there's also all kinds of different notes in there of just somehow let's find forgiveness, let's figure out how actually we move on from here. So that one chorus of "we come alone, we leave alone, my friend," is very much about basically it's we will survive this, and hopefully we will have some form of a friendship after it.
Yeah, it's over, but it doesn't have to be a disaster.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, good uplifting stuff, my friend. Great to hear you. Great to hear you again. And we'll. You know what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn it back over you to resume your mantle as the host.
So, by the way, for those of you that didn't tune in 2 weeks ago, we actually had these roles in reverse. Mike and I did. So this was actually a lot of fun as we do this.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and actually call up our next act. This is Dougal Bichon, who's actually coming in from Toronto, who performs at open mics at Riverboat Mondays on Noonans with Tyler Ellis, Dr. B's Acoustic Medicine Show at Free Times with Brian Gladstone, and Whiskey and Strings online. So, Dougal, I think you are up. We do need to get you off of mute.
There you go, yeah. You're right, I'm off mute now, and I am up. And you can hear me, so I'll just go to it, should I? All right then, I'm going to... last time I was on, Mike mentioned this song from my website, so I thought I'd sing it for you this time. It's called Istanbul, Over in Istanbul, or 15 Men. It goes, yeah. Well, there's 15 men on a dead man's chest over in Istanbul. They lived with a bottle of rum somewhere in Istanbul. He was an outspoken critic of the Saudi regime, kings and princes' devious schemes, telling the world that they're modernized. In the end of the day, is it all just lies? Women can drive, but nobody can drink. Yeah, women can vote, but they don't let them think. And after all, what is it for? Dirty and destructive little Yemeni war. They lured him down to the consulate, promising a woman and a wedding date. They ambushed him there and gave his clothes to a fake beer devil, and nobody knows they did not account for his fiancée. Waiting and waiting a long, lonely day. A woman, after all, they don't much matter. Nobody listens to their idle chatter. 15 men on a dead man's chest over in Istanbul. They a bottle of rum somewhere in Istanbul. Well, the goons all flew in the day before with bone saw knives and a whole lot more. Diplomatic papers, diplomatic lies, hiding it all from prying eyes. 15 goons, they met him at the gate. 15 goons to interrogate. They carved him up and down to size. They did it all with the bone saw knives. 15 goons on one journalist over in Istanbul. They sent his soul to kingdom come straight from Istanbul. Next day the Saudis deny it all. Well, they said it must have escaped through the wall. They didn't think anybody would care. Nobody ever criticized their dirty little war. But now we want answers, even POTUS man. But he won't cancel the arms deal plan, selling them guns for their dirty little war. After all, what is democracy for? Great Crown Prince, well, what could he say? Maybe the boys got a little carried away, sneaking around in the heat of the night. Bone saw knives to a fisticuff fight. But everybody loves the Saudi money. Nobody thinks it's the least bit funny. Now nobody will ever know the truth, 'cause nobody wants to appear uncouth. 15 goons on one journalist over in Istanbul. They sent his soul to kingdom come straight from Istanbul. There's lies, damn lies, and more damn lies. Y'all know what 450 billion buys. bone saw knives, closed up fist, 15 goons and one journalist. It's gonna buy you a truckload of lies, absolution for all of your crimes, boys in a flick of the wrist. One critically dead journalist, there's 15 men on a dead man's chest over in Istanbul. Yo ho ho, there's a bottle of rum somewhere in Istanbul. Yeah, 15 goons on one journalist over in Istanbul. They sent his soul to kingdom come straight from Istanbul. Bone saw knives, bone saw knives. They did it all with the bone saw knives, bone saw knives, bone saw knives. They did it all with the bone saw knives. Thank you. Thank you. That was Bones. That was, yeah, Istanbul. The next one is a little lighter. It's about a girl. It's called Indigo. But it's about a color too, I guess. Isn't it? Indigo's a color. It's a name. This was about the daughter of a couple of friends of mine. And they named her Indigo. It's a little bit of a waltz. Well, this is a story about Indigo, how she came to walk the earth. It was a bit like a legend, some say. She had a kind of miraculous birth. Indigo, indigo, miracles child. Are you feeling free? Are you running wild? Indigo, indigo, where will you go? What will you do? And who will you know? Her mother so ravaged by that famous disease, doctors all said she would never conceive. Wouldn't you know it now, they were all wrong. Indigo came on, she came on strong. Indigo, indigo, miracles child. Are you feeling free? Are you running wild? Indigo, indigo, where will you go? What will you do? And who will you know? Her father, some said, was a bit past his prime, still singing songs and rocking good times. A musician's life of drugs and of girls. They say he had women all over the world. But indigo, indigo, you were the last. You came on strong, you came on fast. Indigo, indigo, what will you be? Doctor, a lawyer, a rounder like me, like me. Yeah, indigo, indigo, you were the last. Came on strong and you came on fast. Indigo, indigo, what will you be? A doctor, a lawyer, a rounder like me. Their life together in love and in lust. The end of the day, well, you do what you must. Our children roll past us all on their own. They carry the seeds to a great unknown. Indigo, indigo, miracles child. Are you feeling free? Are you running wild? Indigo, indigo, where will you go? What will you do? And who will you know? Indigo, indigo, you were the last. Came on strong and you came on fast. Indigo, indigo, what will you be? A doctor, a lawyer, a rounder like me, like me.
Awesome. Excellent stuff. Dougal, thank you so much. I'm going to hand you over to Mike, and we're going to explore those songs a little bit.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it indeed. All right. How you doing, Dougal?
I'm okay, Mike. How are you?
I think I'm going to make it at least till the end of the show.
Yeah.
You know, I hope I won't be accused of abuse of power. It was kind of sneaky of me getting to hear the live performance through the through the suggestion there, and I was delighted to hear it. That's quite the story. How did it come to your attention?
Well, it was in the newspapers. It was at least.
And what's the name of the journalist?
Khashoggi, I believe, is his name. He was
Khashoggi, that's right. Adnan Khashoggi, yeah.
He's Adnan Khashoggi. He's a Saudi, and was a thorn in the side of them. And there were two things. You know, we talked about the pearl theory, and there were two little bits of grit that got under my skin there. And one was the 15 men. You know, and I just thought of the old pirate songs, you know.
Yeah.
15 men on a dead man's chest. But the other one was that they brought these special knives for dismembering human bodies with them. And they used them on him. And those two things just stuck with me.
Now, why do you think it is that the sort of sense of I don't know what ritual element, why does it make it worse? What they did.
Well, why does it make it worse?
I mean, the fact that they have
Well,
these bones.
It was so... Sorry?
Yeah, go ahead. You're answering it, yeah.
I guess because it was so deliberate and so planned and so carefully executed. You know, they apparently dissolved his body in acid and washed down the room with bleach and, you know, got rid of all... And they gave, like they did, give his clothes to this guy with a fake beard and sent him out to put people off, to as a decoy that he'd left the building. And...
he was pretending to be Khashoggi.
Yeah. Yeah, weird. It's just so carefully crafted and deliberate, and I think that was what, for me, made it so god-awful.
Yeah. American television frequently uses the notion of a kind of gangland type worker called a cleaner. Who comes to the site after and does it kind of to try to make it more heinous, and they're borrowing the truth from reality, you know, when they do that. A little bit different second song. The Greeks have a word called a paean, which is a song of praise to some particular person or event or workings of one of the gods, kind of thing. And indigo, what a marvelous paean to a child. Do you know the kid well?
I do not, because I know her or did know her father well. He's a musician, as I said, but he lives in England and doesn't come this way that often. But he does sometimes tour around southern Ontario, and it was on one of these occasions where we were talking, and he was just kind of talking about how he was going to be a father. He's not a young man, and he's going to be a father. He has other children, but and just his thinking about what's going to happen to this child, it kind of struck me. And I wanted to put that into a song. That I mean, every father, every parent thinks that way, I think. But you know, what's going to happen to this child? But it was a bit different. in this
Yeah,
case.
I had taken it from the lyric where you talk about the children roll past us,
Mm-hmm.
and the following rest of that line. Um,
They carry
I
the
had taken it
seeds.
that he might be a child of his older age. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Well,
you
sorry.
go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say his wife was a cancer survivor, so that
Oh,
was the kind of miraculous part of it, part of the
right.
miracle that happened. And anyway, it's a long story, a longer
Well,
story in there.
I want to offer praise to you as a songwriter for bringing us something that is unlike what a lot of us are writing, which is somewhat doom and gloomish kind of a thing
Mm.
to celebrate a yes a birth that is kind of a miracle and that kind of a thing. So, do you have any plans to meet the kid?
Oh, she's in college now, I think. She's going to university. Um, and I didn't let on that I'd written this song for a long time, 10, 12 years or something. I finally confessed to her father I'd written this song about this story. And he said, well, I'd better ask Indigo about that. And he asked her, and Indigo, bless her heart, said, oh, what do I care? Somebody wrote a song about me.
Yes,
So,
yes.
yeah, I'd love to see her if she comes across the pond once in a while, and I'd love to meet up with her and talk to her again and sing her the song. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, that would be a kind of a culmination for it, wouldn't it? All
Kind of.
right. Well, this is the culmination of your interview, and thank you for coming again and playing for us, Dougal. It's always great to see you. We will
Thank
no
you.
doubt see you again.
My
Hopefully, it's
pleasure.
soon. All
Sign
right.
me up.
All righty. Well, you
Okay.
talk to Dave about that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, Chris, you're on, man.
Well, I'm on, but yeah, Mike, it just wasn't that guitar that Randy was playing before? Wasn't that a pretty damn cool guitar? Just nod yes.
I saw Randy
Yeah,
and that guitar pretty much the day after he got it.
yeah. I think that's a
Right.
pretty
Yeah.
darn cool guitar. Now, what if we said free along with that guitar? I mean, just
Oh,
saying that out
you
loud.
must be kidding.
Well, I must be kidding, but everyone who is on the show, performers and volunteer hosts alike, gets a ticket in the fishbowl for the annual drawing for one of Capo Dave's Dandy hybrid guitars. Tom Cooney won the guitar in the last drawing. But what is a Dandy hybrid? It's an acoustic guitar, unique in design. We were talking about this. We were getting all tech geeky at the very beginning during sound check here. It was awesome. Distinctive sound at considerably higher volume than flat top guitars, whether it's in an open mic, a circle jam, campfire, open boxcar, and a moving train. Dandy Hybrid delivers. So we're going to go ahead and, of course, you can learn about Dandies and hear them played on the website dandyguitars.com. Link's going to be up in the YouTube chat, but we're actually going to have the pleasure here of having Capo Dave tell you a little about him as well.
Thanks, Chris. Am I being heard? I guess I am. I hope so.
I can hear you.
Uh, it's coming up on 5 years now that I've been building the Dandy guitars. I've been averaging 10 guitars a year. I'm building number 50 right now. All the guitars are prototypes in a sense. I'm always looking for something new, something better. From the get-go, the guitars were always developing a lot of volume. And I've talked about why. The why of that is because, I'm going to take these headphones off while I do this. The why of that is because the soundboard is at a 16-foot radius as opposed to a 30-foot radius for a flat top guitar. The soundboards on guitars are in essence a dome. And in order for there to be a dome, the bracing of the guitars, people talk about bracing, there are all these mysterious ways to brace and blah, blah, blah. But essentially the most important thing that bracing does is it holds that thin piece of spruce that's about 3 millimeters thick, it holds it in that dome. And so the braces are profiled. So here you can see that there's a straight edge, and you can see the brace is making us an arc. And that arc, if you stuck a nail in a parking lot and pulled a rope out 30 feet and scribed an arc, that's that arc. So that anywhere you glue that on the fingerboard of the guitar, it's going to hold that guitar in that arc. And as I go along building these guitars, what am I looking for? When I string one of these guitars up, the first thing obviously is making sure the intonation is perfect. And that means that the landing points on that saddle have to be in precisely the right place. Is the saddle too high or too low? If the saddle's too high, the sound is going to be very sharp. If it's too low, the strings could buzz. There's that. When the guitar is strung up for the first time and I'm listening to the strings, I'm playing each string one at a time. Does it resonate? Does it have a lot of resonance? Is the resonant even, or does it go wah 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 wah? Wah 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 is bad. You want even, even, even. And is the volume, obviously the strings sound different because they're different notes, but is the volume even across the strings? Do you have a guitar that's like really loud in the treble, but the bass is soft? You want evenness. The Dandy guitars make very focused sound, so the single notes have much more of an edge to them. And in the earlier guitars, that edge is what made those guitars very good for playing straight line solos, which Randy was demonstrating. What he was doing with that guitar, if you tried to do that with a D18, it would be flabby. The older versions of the Dandies are like an acoustic Telecaster. You've got a real bite to the notes. But up in the late 20s and early 30s of building these guitars, I switched from the floating bridge to a standard bridge to bring the overtones into the guitar that normal flat tops have, while still hanging on to the definition. I'm not trying to build a D18. There already are D18s and D28s and Gibsons. I'm trying to keep the definition, but I'm looking for that little bit of a satiny edge on the notes. And so these past 10 guitars or so with the bracing, I'm looking. And a couple guitars ago, it dawned on me. I was thinking about this difference, the difference of the dome, the Dandy guitar being twice as steep a dome as a normal flat top guitar. And think of a cathedral and its dome. A steeper dome is a lot stronger, just like a steeper arch is much stronger than a flatter arch. And it occurred to me that if you were an engineer and told to build a train trestle to support locomotives and a train of a certain weight, and you did that, and then the developer came back and said, no, now we want a bridge to support half the weight. Well, that would mean a much lighter bridge. So it has occurred to me that all along, I've been bracing these guitars more or less with the same level of bracing as normal flat tops. It's gotten thinner and smaller and thinner and smaller, granted, but I started to realize that I've got a tremendous amount of bracing that's being wasted. So if you think about it, now you start reducing the thickness of the brace, the height of the brace. Yeah, you're going to make the top more compliant, but you're going to lose its ability to hold that dome. So I thought, what if the brace was glued on and then slotted so that the brace was effectively in segments. Each segment is holding the dome, but yet it's making the top more compliant. And I built the number 49 that way. The 49's out in the shop having some other stuff done, and it worked. And now I'm building number 50, and I'm going to show you the soundboard of number 50 right now.
And Dave, just to give people a little clarification, the one I am playing is number 25.
Now you see it. Do you see the slots in the bracing? The bracing, the X bracing, and the lower braces is more or less like most Martin Gibson bracing. But those slots are really changing the nature of the top, giving it much more of an ability to move and yet still hold that high dome. So I'm very excited about that. And just very briefly, I'll show you. This is number 48. I'm building dreadnought size right now. And number 49 is rosewood and spruce. And they all have ebony fingerboards. Everything's all solid wood. Number 50 is mahogany, back and sides. And it's going to have this segmented bracing. So I'm very excited about it. And just wanted to share that with you. A little bit of, and you're all sworn to secrecy. You can't tell anyone else about this, so I'll have to kill you. Anyway, on with the show. I'm seeing some great music tonight, and looking forward to the rest of the show.
Dave, thank you so much, and we'll absolutely keep it as appropriately a secret as we possibly can. So with that, let's go ahead and bring our next act up here. This is Paul Gubbins is going to be joining us next. And Paul likes to play local open mics at local bars in Evansville, Indiana, including Lyle's, Ray Leo's at Lamasco, Bouquet Lounge, and O'Brien's. And with that, Paul, go ahead and take it away, sir.
Okay. From the kingdom of Tartaria and Atlantis long ago, Agartha and Lemuria and heaven's golden shore, it's Jesus and the horsemen sailing through the wall. From out beyond Antarctica, they've come to save us all. It's Jesus and the horsemen in their flying ships. They're the ones depicted in ancient manuscripts. So open up your hearts and let the chakra spin. Welcome in Jesus and the horsemen. First thing, he kills the devil with fire from above. But after that, it's all mostly light and love. It's Jesus and the horsemen sailing through the wall. From out beyond Antarctica, they've come to save us all. It's Jesus and the horsemen in their flying ships. They're the ones depicted in ancient manuscripts. So open up your eye and let the chakra spin, and you will see Jesus and the horsemen. There was 1,000 years of peace before the devil was let loose, and now we're all deceived by the faked news. It's Jesus and the horsemen sailing through the wall. From out beyond Antarctica, they've come to save us all. Jesus and the horsemen in their flying ships. They're the once predicted in ancient manuscripts. So open up your mind and let the chakra spin. You'll ride with Jesus and the horsemen. That's the end. Thank you.
Awesome.
Okay. When I was a child, I was a perfect child, and all the other children dreamed of being just like me. I was wise and had age in my eyes. Then they packed me up a lunch and they sent me off to school. Can I please ride in the truck with Daddy, or help out at home with Mom? I've been having bad dreams, a devil on the schoolyard. When I was a child, I was a troubled child. There's not a soul alive today to tell me what I did, but I survived with blood in my eyes. And they packed me up a lunch and they sent me off to school. Can I please ride in the truck with Daddy, or help out at home with Mom? I've been having bad dreams, the devil on the schoolyard. When I was a child, I was a precious child, and everything I did, they measured out in gold. I had light and silver in my eyes. They packed me up a lunch and they sent me off to school. Can I please ride in the truck with Daddy, or help out at home with Mom? I've been having bad dreams, a devil on the schoolyard.
Paul, that was excellent. Thank you so much. I'm going to hand you over to Mike here for a couple of questions.
Hey.
All right. Here we are. Paul, good to see you again, man.
Good to see you too.
So, I don't know if you are familiar with an old Greek named Herodotus.
Yes.
He would have liked the first verse of this song very, very much because, you know, he was a strong believer in the existence of Lemuria and all those kind of things, and some of the themes of adjacency and appropriate behavior to cultures next door to you and that kind of thing. I think he would have dug that tune, man.
Yeah.
So the obvious question: from whence did the inspiration for this arise?
Well, you know, there's an idea that, you know, it's like a biblical idea that, you know, everybody's waiting for Jesus to come back. But, you know, if you look at the book of Revelation, there's he comes back right away. You know what I mean? And then he's here for like 1,000 years, and then the devil's let loose, and then we come under a deception. And the idea is that we're in that deception now. And the kingdom, the Tartarian kingdom, was Christ's kingdom, and that's where all these medieval castles and all this architecture comes from. And, you know, I started thinking about this like 10, 15, I mean, it was a long time ago, and I couldn't figure out why nobody thought this, especially in the church, because it's a real easy place to be. You know, you're no longer like waiting for Jesus, like you're in this deception, and you can kind of just say, well, we're all deceived, you know, like what do we know? But it's, and just the fact that nobody ever talked about it. Nobody ever, when I would talk about it, I acted like I was crazy. I thought, well, we must be in the deception then, because so that would mean that we're ready for the end, where the new heaven and new Jerusalem come out. And I don't know whether any of this is true or not. I'm just saying that's where it came from, like that the idea that there was a great kingdom and now we are like in a deception and in decline. But I don't know how mainstream that is. I see a lot more about it now than I used to, but it used to be I was the only person I knew that talked about it. But
Well, you're not wrong that very few people talk about it, but people have talked about it from as long ago as 400 CE. There are people who did discuss it.
yeah.
It was talked about in some of the councils, like Nicaea and some of those things. Anyway, but your point is well taken, that it's not the easiest thing to read out of Revelations, but I'm pleased that's where the inspiration came from, because it won't do you any harm to think about that.
Well, the church is they're so caught up in everything, as far as like the end coming. But it'd be so much easier for them if they just skipped ahead to this period and quit being in like the waiting for Jesus, and we're in the like, oh, we're just deceived, and what hope is there for us anyway? Let's just wait for the fire to come down.
Yeah. Well, it would be simpler.
Yeah. I don't know why they don't go for it.
Maybe you should run for pope.
Okay.
The second song, there's no ego involvement in that first verse at all. I'm pleased to say, not a bit of it. But I like the movement of the story in that. We have lots of people who write story songs. This one's a little different kind of a story, and very first person. I like that a lot. So I'm going to say, not fond of school, were you?
No, not at all. I mean, not too bad, but it just was hard. It was confusing. There's a lot of paperwork to do. I could never remember. Like, you'd come back the next day and there was all this stuff you were supposed to have done. And I always meant to do it, but I just never remembered, So it was always just a lot of trouble.
Well, you convey that very, very well. I love your finger picking. You're a good picker, son. That's really good.
Well, I learned when I was a kid from the Anthology of Folk Music book, the Lomax book. Like, yeah. I kind of learned to play guitar from the back of it, and I knew a guy from who was part of like the whole Merle Travis Muhlenberg County tradition or whatever. That he was from the same. He had learned, and when I was a teenager, he taught me some of the alternating finger stuff and just little things. So yeah, so I'm actually in the actual tradition barely.
Yeah, well, you're definitely playing, and alternating thumb and all that. Yeah, so very cool. You planning to come back and play with us again sometime, I hope?
Yeah.
All right. Well, good. I'll look forward to that. And for the moment, I'm going to thank you and go back to Chris here.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. And Paul, thank you so much for joining us here. That was wonderful. We're going to go ahead and move back over to Vermont here and have Jason Baker join us. Jason spends some time at Brookfield Old Town Hall up on Stone Road in Brookfield, Vermont, every first Thursday of the month at 6:30. And every time I have read this, I've been wondering whether it is BYOB and food or BYO band food. And I'll let Jason kind of explain that. Jason, you're up.
All right, yeah. Bring your own food or beverage is the deal. And it is just a town hall after all. This is a song from the viewpoint of a drone operator. It's called The Button. I push the button that drops the bomb while I sit safely in comfort and calm. On the screen I see the bodies that lie. I just push the button and death rains from the sky. You just push the button. You just push the button. You just push the button, and death rains from the sky. You just push the button. You just push the button. You just push the button, and death rains from the sky. I push the button, and then I go home to be with my family, but I'm still alone. Alone with the bodies that lie in the street, while I sit with my wife and my children and I eat. You just push the button. You just push the button. You just push the button, and death rains from the sky. You just push the button. You just push the button. You just push the button, and death rains from the sky. I push the button to watch the TV. News how a drone killed a whole family. And what do I say when my kid asks me why? Daddy, why are you always looking up into the sky? You just push the button. You just push the button. You just push the button, and death rains from the sky. You just push the button. You just push the button. You just push the button, and death rains from the sky. I push the button that drops a bomb, while I sit safely in comfort and calm. With my eyes closed, I still see the bodies that lie, and when my eyes are open, they're always looking to the sky.
There.
Thank you very much. Now we're going to do the traditional changing the entire tuning of the banjo, as they say, to a different. Okay. This is a long neck banjo. I'm playing the banjo because I don't have a dandy guitar. I need a dandy guitar. I know that won't get me one. But, all right, so this song is actually based on a heritage song. But I did my own update to did my thing where you that folk process thing where you take a song and you make it your own, but with some respect in this case for the original song. This song is based on "Oh Freedom" and it's called "Don't Give Up on Freedom." Don't give up on freedom. Don't give up on freedom. Don't give up on freedom in your mind. Hope is what we find and save all humankind. So don't give up on freedom in your mind. When they come arrest you, put you in a jail. Don't give up on freedom in your mind. The way you can survive it is hoping without fail. So don't give up on freedom in your mind. No, don't give up on freedom. Don't give up on freedom. Don't give up on freedom in your mind. Yeah, hope is what we find can save all humankind. So don't give up on freedom in your mind. They can beat your body, put you in a hole. Don't give up on freedom in your mind. Yes, you can still inspire with dignity and soul. So don't give up on freedom in your mind. Yeah, don't give up on freedom. Don't give upon freedom in your mind. Now when you're feeling beaten, when it seems they've won, don't give up on freedom in your mind. Yes, remember that ideas are more powerful than words, and don't give up on freedom in your mind. Don't give up on freedom. Don't give up on freedom. Don't give up on freedom in your mind. Yeah, hope is what we find can save all humankind. So don't give up on freedom in your mind.
Amen.
Yeah. Great message, Jason. Thank you so much. I'm going to hand you over to Mike, and we're going to explore that a little bit more if we could. Mike?
No problem.
All right.
Hey, Mike.
So, wow. Powerful stuff, man. Powerful
you.
stuff. I'm going to start with the second song. This a thing that we don't always remember to mention to people about Open Mic America is there's two kinds of songs you can play here. One is anything you've written, original songs, and the other is songs written before 1925, which is a copyright consideration. And Capo Dave calls those heritage songs, which Jason mentioned. And this one here is both a heritage song and an original song, so you have checked all the boxes. I think that's, what do they call it when you get all five in a row on your card? A bingo. Yes. What's the title of the heritage song that we're working from?
Oh, freedom.
Oh, freedom, is that it? Okay, I thought it was.
Oh, freedom over me.
Yeah.
Before I'll be
okay.
originally, so that was it. It was a post-Civil War Reconstruction freedom song, and it actually came from a spiritual just called "Before I'll Be a Slave." Before I'll be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave. That part.
Right. Yeah.
And
okay.
I
thought so, but I
changed
want to
that
make sure.
part of the music a little bit.
Yeah, I want to make sure I got that one right. Yeah, wonderful stuff. I heard Hallie get excited about that, and I'm not surprised. That's exactly her kind of thing.
That's very nice to hear.
The first song. I am always pleased to see songwriters take on the great moral challenges. And remote warfare, whether you're talking about the struggle that they had at the original convention, the Swiss conventions about warfare. My brain went blank on the name. The Geneva Conventions, where they had very profound arguments over whether snipers were allowable in warfare, and whether or not you could shoot artillery at all at any place that had any civilians in it. All the remote warfare questions, they are a load to understand morally. How did this pop up for you to write about?
In this case, it was, I consume a lot of news, and this was actually a story. It was, I can't remember if it was PBS or NPR or something like that. Whatever it was, I actually think I read it online or watched it online. It was a story about the psychological effects of being a drone operator in the United States, and how people were burning out pretty quickly, and for the very reason you might think, in that they're literally going to they just make sure they go into a place in Arizona, a little place in the military base. They go into basically what's a shipping container looking thing, and it's hardened site, and they control a drone that's literally half a world away, and they monitor people, and they watch people for a long time before they blow them up. So that they're not the whole notion that they're making mistakes is also kind of turns out to be kind of a lie. They this guy talked about watching a guy for a week, and basically getting the order one morning, just like when he's alone, as soon as he's alone, blow him up. And so he left one morning, kissed his kids goodbye, and he watched this guy kissing his kids and then blew him up. And so he, that psychological effect, they talked about all that, and I thought this was worthy of, I think what military personnel and the veterans who after they go through after they leave the military is important to talk about, and in songwriting, I think it's actually something that just our society doesn't give them quite enough of what they need, and
I could not possibly agree with you more, and there are certainly mental health considerations for the operators. It's inarguable. I really liked the "Daddy, why" line, and then the repetition of it later, looking at the sky, because we choose what we do, but what goes around comes around. And I don't, if you're somebody that lives in Russia or Ukraine, then what your viewpoint on remote warfare is probably different than most Americans who aren't having to deal with it firsthand,
Yeah, it came from. I don't think the guy said anything about his. He did say he was a young guy with kids. He didn't say anything about his kids specifically, but he said, I just thought about how easy it is for someone to do it to me.
Right.
And so that's the basic psychological thing that you got to live with is, hey, once you can just push a button.
Well, it's a very well written song. I sit here and I think back to an earlier war and a 7-fret banjo being played by a guy.
Our guy.
Yep.
Yeah, he was our guy. He had to fight to get back on the air and be heard during the Vietnam War. And thanks to the people who, like the Smothers Brothers and other people who stood up, and Johnny Cash, people who stood up and put him on the air. His specific anti-war message, which is, as always, was not always completely direct, but a story song. So, lovely.
Right.
Waist deep in the Big Muddy. A song that wasn't about Vietnam necessarily, but was, obviously.
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
well, you are in a mighty tradition there, and we are privileged to have heard that song, I think. And
thank you.
I'm sure you'll bring us others when you come back next time.
Yes, I will. Thank you.
All right.
Much.
Good to see you, Jason. Thank you.
You too. Bye.
Thanks, Mike, and thanks, Jason. That was really some wonderful music. Next up, we're going to come back over to a little bit further down south, out of Vermont, down to Massachusetts here, bring up my dear friend Ric Page here. Now, Rick is an incredibly talented musician, and when you ask him for things like what open mics are you playing at, what you get is his resume. So just bear with me for a moment here. Live, he's playing at North Reading Community Coffee House, Muddy Waters Mike's Open Mic, Jason Spirit Cunningham's Music Medicine, Virtual, Duncow Acoustic Club in the UK, Eagle's Nest Revisited on Fridays, where I get to share a bill with him, which is fun. Apocalyptic Open Mic, Desert Southwest Open Mic in Tucson, Arizona, Open Mic America, Social Distancing Open Mic in New Mexico, and Together Apart. Rick, take it away, sir.
Thank you, Chris. Hell and High Water. Hell and high water, they're coming for me. Stuck in middle, nowhere to flee. Running for my life, devil's on my heels. Water's rising with a force that's unreal. Hell and high water tearing me apart. Drowning in sorrow, losing my heart. Can't escape the fury that's coming my way. Hell and high water gonna make me pay. flames of hell flickering in the night. Caught in the middle of a deadly storm, pray for salvation, keep me safe and warm. Oh yeah, oh yeah, la da da. I won't give up, I won't back down. Fight till the end, I'll stand my ground. I'll face the devil, I'll face the blood. Unbreakable faith with a heart that's good. Hell and high water, they're coming for me. I won't be defeated, I will break free. Rise above the chaos, I'll find my way. Hell and high water, I'll see a brighter day.
Very nice.
Changing guitars here. This is an instrumental.
Nice.
A nice
Rick, I
play.
haven't heard that one before. That's awesome. All right, well, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna let's have Mike talk to you. See if we can tease out some secrets here.
Okie doke.
There I am unmuted. Ric Page.
Yes.
Good to see you again,
Hello.
man.
Good to see you.
All right, so unapologetically, but with fairness to the listeners, I'm going to get in the weeds a little bit here with the questions for Rick.
Go for it. Go for it.
Hell and High Water.
Yeah.
Just give me give me a nice linear description of the process for the writing of that song.
Nice linear. Well, it's about overcoming adversity and always looking for the brighter day or the brighter picture or the better end at the end.
Okay, that's the story.
Yep.
What came first, the chicken or egg, a lyric, melody, chord question?
The music came first, and then I think someone else here told me that actually it was Kareen, said that she goes for walks and all of a sudden words come to her, and then, that's
Right.
what happened on that one. Anyway, I went for a walk and I said, oh, that's what it's about.
Yeah. All right. That's some help, I think, to other people who want to write stuff like that. The second song, my first thing that popped into my mind, I have written a few instrumental songs myself. When you wrote that, was the intro written after the main song was complete? Did you append that later?
Yep, it's true. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Was it
So-
too obvious?
No, not so much that it was obvious in the sense that you're asking it, but to me, as a fellow writer, it was kind of obvious that it was derived from the chord sequence in the B part of the song, right? And so I thought, well, I bet he wrote that B part in there first. In there, how challenging do you find that song to play?
On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say 6.
Okay.
Because there's a lot happening, and if you don't execute it right, it's like, I'm lost.
Right, exactly, and this is one of the things that I want to point out, that if you can talk at all about it for anyone else who's a writer here, which is all of us, and anyone listening, how much did the song change, particularly in terms of chord choices? Particularly in terms of chord choices and the melody during the writing of the song.
Not a whole lot. As you said before, the intro I tacked on, and of course carried it throughout. But that was really the only thing that changed from its inception.
Okay, all right. And that second part, the chordally more non-harmonic chunk there at the end of the second B section, that come later too, or was that just
No,
a
that
natural?
that came from the beginning. It was
From
only
the
the
beginning.
intro part, the dum bum bum.
Okay.
That's really was the only part
Yeah.
I added after.
Thought so. Now, when you were doing it, I would guess that it's a fair question to ask. How did you decide how much of the ornamentation you were going to layer in on this stuff? Your melody lines are often not simple. That you've made them more complex with all the ornamental movement.
It was one of those things that, because it's in an alternative tuning, it's in double drop D, and because I have to, when I'm writing songs in different tunings, I have to I'll call it farting around with it until I feel comfortable with, like, oh yeah, that's right, this is how the scales go and everything like that. That particular one was one that I was warming up with, and I said, oh, I like this. I should probably make this, because I was originally going to add words to it, and I played it at a live stream, and I heard it, and I said, no, it's better for an instrumental. So I just needed something for the beginning, and that's where we talked about the part I tacked on at the
Right.
beginning.
Yeah. All right. Well, that thing dances, man. So can you ID the guitars for us?
The first one was a D'Angelico XL, and that was in DAC-FAC tuning. And the second one was a Larrivee, and that was in double drop D.
All right. Well, thank you. The D'Angelico's, it's a modern D'Angelico, right?
Yeah, it's only a couple of years old.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for letting me drill down on your stuff. Anything else you want to say about it?
No, I just I love this family and look forward to coming back.
I'm sure we'll see you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you from all of us to Ric Page.
Absolutely. Rick, thank you so much. And Mike, thank you very much as well. Now, let's go ahead and move back across the country for our last act of the night. Mark Bishop Evans is another longtime contributor here and also is a very big supporter of all of the open mic music, both live and on virtual as well. The three that he listed for today is Arizona Live Music Cooperative, North Mountain Brewing Company Open Mic, and Tempe Center for the Arts Open Mic. I'm not sure that we were able to sneak in a sound check from Mark, so let's go ahead and get him up here and make sure we get our levels right, and then Mark, want to hand it over to you. But Mark, let's get you off mute.
Check your 1, 2. Check.
I think we're good.
That sounds great.
Great. Mark, you're on. Thank you.
Mist in the morning hides all but the tallest of trees. While the wisp of a warning comes drifting along on a breeze. And although I feel it, I can't find the will to respond. For time becomes precious when you find more than half of it gone. We cling so ferocious to things we can see with our eyes, so blindly precocious, while the unseen might bring a surprise. Caught up in fancies of which we're exceedingly fond, while time becomes precious when you find more than half of it gone. The wind in the willows wring tears from my eyes. Sulking in shadows is not very wise. When you sift through your memories, you'll surely find all kinds of lies. Lost to the lessons we remain, so incredibly blind. Still only seeing the things we expected to find. Probably time to accept what was true all along. But time becomes precious when you find more than half of it gone. The wind in the willows wring tears from my eyes. Sulking in shadows is not very wise. When you sift through your memories, you'll surely find all kinds of lies. Lost to the lessons we remain, so incredibly blind. Still find the things we expected to find. Probably time to accept what was true all along. The time becomes precious when you find more than half of it gone. I said time becomes precious when you find almost all of it gone.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Wonderful.
I don't think I've ever been so lonely. I don't think I've ever been so cold. And it seems it just might rain forever, but I'll keep standing here, collecting useless tears. I don't think I've ever been so lost, or just mislaid my will for living. And it seems it just might rain forever, but I'll keep standing here, collecting random fears. I once knew something more than pain. Then it rained. Oh, how it rained. Lost my will to try again. In the rain, still it rained. Don't think I've ever been so sad. I don't think that I'll forget this story. And it seems it just might rain forever, but I'll keep standing here, convinced the sky will clear while it rains. And it rains. I once knew something more than pain, but then it rained. Oh, how it rained. I lost my will to try again. In the rain, still it rained. Don't think I've ever been so sad. I don't think that I'll forget this story. And it seems it just might rain forever, but I'll keep standing here, convinced the sky will clear while while it rains. And it rains, still it rains. And it rains, still it rains.
My word. Mark, that was beautiful. Let me hand you over to Mark, and he is very likely going to ask you a couple of questions here.
Well, I think that is the plan.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, how are you doing, Mark?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Oh, I think I'll make it to at least the end of the show here, I think. Good to see you again.
Good to see you, sir.
It's always a little more challenging to decide exactly what to ask. I've asked you most of my more or less standard questions many, many times. So I want to make a definite move of focus on everything that we're talking about here with these two songs to your relationship as a songwriter and performer to your audience. And so half of it gone, the first thing that occurred to me was the song is fairly direct. It's not a particularly mysterious piece. You're just telling it kind of straight about how, we go on and realize that time has gone by, right? What do you hope the audience will take away from that song?
I don't know that I particularly want them to take away a thought. I want them to take away a feeling.
Okay.
I want them to feel something. I want them to feel what I feel when I think about all the time that has gone by in my life and what's left, and that sense of maybe urgency, where maybe it's time to get on with the things that we've been putting off or whatever, but I want them to feel something. You know how when something moves you, you feel your heart kind of swell. It kind of, you kind of get a feeling that your heart just kind of swells like this. That's what I'm driving for. That's what I'm trying to get. Well, that's what I would like to get.
Yeah. All right. Now, can you name anything to us in terms of songwriting technique that you used in that song in order to bring that across? I'll give you one for free. One for free is certainly you use the technique of repetition of various lines to bring home the chorus that is repeated is one. Anything else you can think of?
I think directness, if I can express what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling directly, then I just kind of take it for granted that we as humans feel the same things and are triggered by some of the same things, and if it triggers me, if I can find a way to trigger myself, my own emotion, then I'm hoping that will translate over into the audience.
What a marvelous answer. Yeah, that's really great. Really great. Second song. This is a charming exposition of sadness. And then that, again, I'll throw you the one technique that's kind of, it's obvious. It's a great use of rain as this overarching metaphor. How did it occur to you to throw in those couple of small points where you use rain and its cessation as the symbol for hope. Because if you write a song about being sad and there's no hope in it, I think the odds are not good that that's a winner. You know.
Yeah. For that song, it just that evolved. I mean, you know, I could have. I mean, that last phrase, you know, where you know, I keep standing here, convinced the sky will clear. You know, um, that came to me at, you know, I mean, however those things come to you, but I was, you know, I'm building this thing, and that phrase came to me, and I went, yes, yes.
Winner, 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 chicken dinner. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's the line, you know, um, because yes, the song is, you know, you know, rain is just pouring down and it's bringing the sadness with me and everything like that. But I'm gonna, you know, I'm that turnaround at the end kind of. It made the song for me. You
Yeah,
know?
I think you were right to think so. Yeah, very much. So let me ask you sort of a more extended question in general about your songwriting. When you're writing and you're in the midst of a song, do you ever consider set list considerations when you're writing a song?
No,
This one would go here in a potential. No, you never consider that. Okay. And do
yeah.
you write poetry outside of lyrics?
Pardon me.
Do you write poetry outside of the
Yes,
lyrics?
yes.
Yeah.
In fact, some, you know, probably at least a third of my current, you know, of the songs that I've written, um, began as poems.
Mm.
I went through a period of time when I was younger where I had way more words than I have music,
Hmm.
and so I would just write. You know, I would turn them into poetry, and I've got a nice thick book of 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 all that stuff. And there's times when I'm feeling like, well, I want to write something, but I really don't have any ideas. I'll just start thumbing through that book. You know.
Right. You mine that thing. Yeah. Yeah. Very nice. Um, I just want to say that I'm very glad that your music has caught up with your lyric writing, because you're one of the more balanced songwriters in that way that I know, and I know a bunch. Very nice stuff. It's always a joy to hear you. And of course, see you soon, huh?
Right. You will. Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right,
Mark.
man.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Mark. And thanks, Mike. And thank all of you, actually. I really wanted to go ahead and thank our full crew here, Corinne, as well as Holly and Randy, Dougal, Paul, Jason, Rick, and Mark. Thank you so much for making this such a fantastic evening here. I'm going to encourage everybody that's out here on YouTube, please go ahead and look these folks up. Look at their websites. Go ahead, listen to more of their music. You've gotten just such a small taste of everything that all of these artists are actually contributing here.
And that all applies to Mr. Chris Steele as well.
I was on a spiel and you were just like, no, that's fine. It's fine. Mike, it's good. Thank you very much. And actually, I do want to thank Mike for actually being our interviewer here tonight. It's not an easy job. Mike does a fantastic job of trying to bring out the real personality of the songwriters as he goes. And I really appreciate the work that he does. He really kind of set a standard here, and we all try and follow it. I also want to thank Dave Williams for already for going ahead and setting this up, and also Laura, who is our brand new engineer here today, who has been working tirelessly behind the scenes to make sure all of this works. Remember to check our website, openmicamerica.com, for links to the music for all of the OMA performers and find archives of all of the shows going back to 2021, as we were just talking about before. If you like the show, please spread the word. Don't keep it a secret. You can even download and print your own posters from our website and hang them somewhere where folks can see them behind you. And there is a rumor that t-shirts might still be available through the openmicamerica.com website. Please check out your local and virtual open mics. We have listed the ones where our performers play under the local open mics tab on the website. We're always here on the first and third Sundays of every month, so our next show will be Sunday, September 6th, same time. And however you found us this time, use that same way. Stay tuned for the next full lineup of performers. And of course, please check out your local and virtual open mics. We've listed the ones, and it's so important to you go ahead and continue to support those forums, those venues where live music is actually coming out. So thank you all for being here with us. I'm going to go ahead and have everybody here make sure that everybody's on mute. I'm just inspecting the screen here real quick, make sure we're all good, because we have these little technical things, make sure they have to happen each time. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn off my video. I'm going to say good night, America, and we'll see you again real soon. Thanks.
If you meet me at the corner of Russell and Albina, just about a block from Mississippi Avenue, I'll take you to a house where they hang carpets on the wall. And if we go there on a Sunday, there's a song I'll take you through.